Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been probably a year since I posted my Generation Mindful video. We have just had lots of updates, and I'm sure you don't want to hear them all because you're here for this. So if you're curious, I'll leave it down below in the description box why it's taken me a year to upload this next one. So let's get to it. First off, I want to mention, in my prior video, I said that I was going to get these frames from IKEA, which I did. This frame right here is a little bit smaller than the actual poster itself. So there were two options that I could have done. One, I could go for the smaller frame and trim the poster so that it fit like almost perfectly. Or option number two is I could have gotten a bigger frame and then tried to have centered it or matted it or something like that. Obviously you can tell what I did. So in order to make sure that it fit, I just took out the back of this and then I put the poster underneath the back of it and I traced it and then I cut it out. I know that seems a little tedious, but I wanted it to have the more perfect look in the frame like the other ones did. The other ones fit perfectly. This one frame was just a little bit smaller. So, okay, so perfect timing to show you my calming corner because my son has turned 2 a couple of months ago, and he's just now getting into the really big emotion phase where he has really big emotions, but he's not able to communicate what's going on. And so instead of dealing with his emotions like you and I would, he just starts screaming, or he'll just get really mad that he doesn't understand or can't communicate, and then he'll start hitting pillows, throwing pillows, and screaming, and it just seems like he's mad at everything. If I take a second and try and help him calm down, he's more willing to communicate about why he was screaming. And I've caught myself a couple of times because there are just moments where I've wanted to yell and did yell, and I myself have to show, okay, this is a calming strategy. And the one that I normally do is I take 3 deep breaths and I count to 10, but because I don't need to count to 10 to calm down, I usually count to 4. And there's a Daniel Tiger video or calming song that goes along with it. I've shown my son that video. It helps him see another way of how to calm down. So it's like showing him by example instead of just watching me do it, which he watches me do it all the time. And so when I get mad and I start screaming, I try and stop myself as soon as possible, which is totally happened this morning. We were playing in the pool. My son had the hose, and he decided to get out of the hose when I was going to get towels and spray it not only at my daughter who was getting her towel and robe on, but spray it inside my house, inside the open door. And I just, stop, you need to listen. And then I was like, okay, I am mad right now. And I said that to my son. I said, I'm really mad right now. And he was like, why? And instead of answering him and keeping up that high energy, when I'm mad, it's, the red corner is the high energy. I said, I'm really mad. I need to calm down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as silly as it sounds and as ridiculous as it may seem to do that, it totally helped me. And as soon as I did that, I was able to just look at him and say, hey, I'm really mad right now that 1, you didn't listen, but 2, you sprayed water from the hose inside the house. I am not okay with the decision you made, and here's how we can fix it. And dealing with something a little bit more rationally like that was easier for him to understand. It was easier for him to adjust and easier for him to learn from the situation of how to calm down. I also had another moment this morning with my daughter who just turned 4. And so she was really upset because I wanted her to try a piece of nectarine, and she hasn't had nectarine before. And she was so mad and scared and worked up, and she was more, feeling unpleasant and high energy. So the red corner. There's anxious and scared on your My Feelings chart. And you want to know, it's so awesome. She just turned 4, and she looked at me and she goes, Mommy, she was really worked up. I would really like to go upstairs and calm down. And I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. When you're calm, you can come back downstairs and we can talk about this again. And so she came upstairs, and she was up here for maybe 5 minutes and came downstairs. When she came downstairs, she goes, I'm calm now. And she was able to talk to me more rationally instead of just us trying to get what we wanted from each other. Because I was getting frustrated, so my energy level was going up. She was getting frustrated, her energy level was going up. And so we kept on escalating on each other. And so when she took time to come and calm down and she came back, both of our energy levels had gotten to a calm place. And we were able to communicate, okay, honey, I need you to take one bite and then you can get breakfast. Okay, Mommy, I really don't want to take a bite because I'm scared to try this new food. Can I eat it after breakfast? And we kind of just kept on communicating until we came to a balance point. So I think that worked really well. My son, like I said, he just turned 2. And so right now he's really curious about just all the faces. When I first posted this video, he was also really curious, and he had just turned 1. I think maybe he might have been 15 months maybe. And so he was still learning words, and he loved coming over to his poster and pointing at things and saying, what's that? What's that? What's that? And so one of the ones that he really loved is, where is it? Oh, it's the girl with her ponytails going up like this, the silly face. He really loved the silly face, and so by 15 months he was learning silly. That girl's silly. And so whenever he would do something silly, he'd say, I be silly. And so he would look at all the faces and learn all the emotional words to what different emotional faces were in the words. And he wouldn't be able to tell me how he was feeling all the time, but he could mimic the face and say, this is this emotion. So if he was mad, he could say, this is mad. And so he didn't get to the calm down or the strategies or different peacemakers. However, we've played with this many times, and especially with the stickers. But he learned all of the words. And now that he's turning 2, he doesn't necessarily come in here to learn the words anymore because he knows the words. But because he knows the words, now he's experiencing the emotions, and I can put the two hand in hand. And so he's kind of making those connections right now. My daughter, she's 4, and she did the same thing when she was 2 and was learning her emotions. And now that she's 4, she's just now starting, okay, I'm really frustrated or I'm really sad. I'm going to go calm down, and then I'm going to address the situation. So she'll come in here. She'll ask to come in here, or she'll just come in here and come and tell me afterwards. And she says, Mommy, I was in my calm down corner. Mommy, I want to go to my calming corner. And she'll do it quite often. This space is used a lot. And so she knows that she can come in here, and she is learning how to read. And so she can't read all these yet. And that's why the pictures are so helpful for her. And so she'll come in, she'll look at these ones. And honestly, last night she came to me and she said, Mommy, I went to my calm down corner and I wanted to give my stuffed animal a hug. And I was like, oh great, go give your stuffed animal a hug. She goes, I already did it. I went to my room and grabbed my stuffed animals and I gave them big hugs, and it made me feel better. And I was like, this is awesome because she's now learning how to do this herself. And it's just really great. It's helping her communicate with me, and it's helping us have a strategy of how to deal with high energy situations, which I'm really, really thankful for. So obviously the last time I did this, I was pregnant. I am no longer pregnant anymore. I had my daughter, and she will watch my kids playing here all the time. So she's not necessarily used to using this yet. So this is the mini manual starter guide that comes with your box. And it says everything that's inside of your kit. Oh yeah, okay. Who is this for? It says the Time and Toolkit will help you create a calming corner for children ages 3 to 9 plus, including a variety of activities and games for the child to play that nurture social and emotional skills. So, and then there's a picture, which is awesome, of even an infant, so you can see that they're involved too, even though they're not getting like all of this, they're just involved, and the stuff is becoming familiar to them. Okay, so I guess I can show you. Right now we just have a chair for my daughter and son to sit in. They'll come and they'll rock. We're currently in one of our spare rooms, which we've turned kind of into a library, and so they know read a book is a calming strategy, so they can go and grab any of the kid books or any of their books and come back down and sit in their chair and read. They know that they can come and lay down on the couch if they want to sit down and read. They know where to find their stuffed plushies. They know how to take deep breaths. The one thing I haven't gotten in here yet is a timer in case if they want to come in, but I haven't had to need a timer. They kind of just gauge it by what they feel they need. I did have one to begin with, but they played with it so much that it ended up breaking. So I think that one was just a cheap dollar section timer. So if you're gonna get a timer, I would suggest not getting a dollar section timer, but getting one that is a little bit more trustworthy. They know where to find this stuff. Eventually, when we get this room a little bit more set up, I want to get 2 chairs, and I want to get a couple more of their calming activities more closer. The benefit of this specific couch is that it has a little pouch right here on the side that's wooden, and so that's where I'm going to stick all of my Time and Toolkit things for them to use right away. The one thing I want to warn you about if you get IKEA frames is that they're cheap, and so you get what you pay for. My son is very much hands-on, and so when we were in the middle of moving, we didn't have these posted up to the wall because we were in a couple of different places just temporarily. And so I had him like this, just sitting down, and he would turn him like this and he would stomp on him, and it would just break through. Luckily, all of my like tab things on the back haven't broken at all. But also I noticed that if I did little nails, I'd have to have them really far out so that this would be out. And so I've just done 3M strips on this, and I found that that works really well for keeping them up where I need them. Also, because I've had these down on the walls and because they've been stepped on and stuff, I've just had to clean the plastic off, but luckily like they've stayed really sturdy. However, if you end up not getting frames and you just have these out and about, my son, this happened a couple times when we were moving my son, we get really into my feelings chart and he would like crinkle them. And even though these are like laminated and really nice, it still got wrinkly. So if you're like a perfectionist or a little bit OCD, I would probably suggest getting a frame for you to put it in because it does get wrinkly if it's out. So that is my time in corner and kind of a synopsis of how we use it. So if you have any more questions about my posters, my corner, or how we use it, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I try and get back to you as quickly as I can. I think that this is a great tool, and obviously I'm not perfect. I yell sometimes, and it's great because I'm able to practice the strategies, show my kids how to use them when I'm really frustrated, and then in turn by watching me do it multiple times, they end up learning that they can do that too. So hopefully your experiences go well with your kids and they can learn from you and learn from this awesome resource of teaching social and emotional skills to your kids. I will see you next time. Bye.